Tarehe Sita. That is the 45th anniversary of Tarehe Sita. And myself, I'm Colonel Henry Obo. I'm the Deputy Director, Defense Public Information, or the Deputy Spokesperson for Ministry of Defense. We shall have a short program on how it will go for the day. But before we go through this, I would like to bring warm greetings from the Chief of Defense Forces, General Muhozi, who has not been able to be with us today, but he has delegated Major General Henry Masiko, who is the Joint Staff for Political Commissariat, who is going to be giving his message on his behalf. With us also we have Major General Masiko is here. With us also we have Brigadier General Michael Kibuye. He's the Director of Civil Military Cooperation of the Uganda People's Defense Forces. He will also have a word. And also we have Dr. Francis Xavier Bakehena, who will also have something for us. And finally, we shall be having Major Engineer Albert Mukama, who will also give the engineering brief. So the Major General will first brief, and thereafter he will call the respective subject experts, that's in civil military, medical, and engineering. And without wasting time, may I invite you, sir, Afande Major General Henry Masiko.
The ultimate price of their lives. The people of this region stood with the revolution, particularly in the most difficult time of 70s, and together with the neighborhood of this Kigezi region, which is Rwanda and Democratic Republic of Congo, are to some extent very well celebrated for enhancing the liberation struggle. Kigezi also, as a sub-region, has over the years been politically stable and fully supporting government programs. As we continue to leap forward, especially into the middle income status, it is crucial to appreciate and consolidate the political and ideological mobilization efforts in the region. Indeed, holding Tarehe Sita in this region will facilitate also the documentation of contributions of a number of the freedom fighters enumerated above. As per the UPDF tradition, the activities planned for the Defense Forces Week 2025-2026 are to be conducted in a spirit that reaffirms the indivisible strategic relationship between UPDF and the people regarded as the masters. 13th, our engineers will move into the region to start on the projects they have identified to give to the community. A big function launching these activities at a national level is slated for next Tuesday, the 18th of November, at the Ministry of Defense and Veteran Affairs and the joint UPDF headquarters Mbuya, starting at 9 in the morning. And definitely, you as our friends, we are extending invitation to you to be present at that grand launch. Thereafter, there will be a session for the media and corporate entities and ministries to discuss how to cooperate into these Tarehe Sita activities. On 29th November 2025, our teams will especially insert or enter Kigezi sub-regions to commence what we call the army activities. Particularly, there will be political commissars, civic officers, our lawyers, our women personnel, plus the medical team which will enter on 1st December. We have what we call a launch at regional level, which will be in Kisoro district on the 2nd of December at Saza Playground in Kisoro municipality. Thereafter, there will be simultaneous district launches on the 3rd December 2025, and activities will go on for 2 weeks in all the districts of Kigezi, but also activities will also be taking place countrywide where our forces are deployed. To note, we shall have another big ceremony in the region on 6th of January to hand over all our constructions to the communities that are going to benefit from these contributions. And of course, the main celebration will be, as usual, celebrated on the 6th of February in Kabale municipality at National Teachers College Kabale main ground. As I conclude, the UPDF salutes all Ugandans and the people of Kigezi sub-region in particular for their unwavering support since the founding days of the struggle to date, even when it has meant paying the ultimate price. The sacrifices have not been in vain. This is the reason why all Ugandans everywhere are invited to come celebrate with the army during these defense forces activities and eventually Tarehe Sita celebration marking 45 years since the commencement or the founding of UPDF as a people's force. The CDF emphasizes that as an army mandated to protect and defend the sovereignty and territorial integrity of Uganda, we assure the country that this period of electoral exercise will be peaceful and nobody will disturb the peace of the people, and thus allow an environment where every citizen will vote candidates of their own choice. Happy celebrations and a ruta continua for God and my country. Thank you for listening to me.
Orientation seminars for youth leaders from the sub-region Ideological seminars for religious leaders and veterans will also be conducted in the same region. Barazas and radio talk shows will be conducted by key leaders, generals, senior and junior officers operating in every district. Community engagement will be held in the selected areas, aiming at sensitizing the high number of youth, women and elders who are part of the electoral. The departments of historical sites, monuments and diarists shall research on the sources of military history to record their experiences during the struggle for peace, security and democracy. And also invitations will be extended to the corporates, government agencies, media officials, UPDF retired generals, senior officers and key leaders from the sub-region. With respect to CIMIC, which I head, there will be strengthening of good relationship with the people of the region. We shall do cleaning activities to selected places of the communities. We shall plant trees in also selected areas of the district for purposes of environmental security. We shall conduct key engagements with the district officials and leaders. And also there will be memorable activities to be conducted to appreciate the FRONASA, as you heard the general talk about the contribution of the region. It had FRONASA, NRA and UPDF supporters during the liberation struggle. We shall also be able to conduct and coordinate donations from the corporates. You heard him talk about corporates and other agencies. I'm now also going to talk about the Department of Formal Education, Sports and Culture. The Formal Education, Sports and Culture will support schools that are equally selected but very vulnerable with the following items: scholastic materials for pupils and students. There will be cultural entertainments from cultural troops. We shall organize sports and games competitions. At the end of the day, the winner will take a cow or a goat. And we shall also organize debate competitions with students from selected secondary schools. That's all from me, and at this juncture I would like to invite Colonel Dr. Bakehena, who will talk about the medical issues, and thereafter there will come Major Engineer
Colonel Dr. Francis Xavier Bakehena. I head the Department of Public Health in the Uganda People's Defense Forces, and I'm the coordinator of all the medical services that we are going to carry out in the Kigezi region during our Tarehe Sita and Defense Forces Week activities. Normally, over the years, during our birthday, we normally give back to the people in terms of the projects the Joint Staff Political Commissariat has enumerated, but mainly from our part, we give back to the people by providing them with all the necessary and needed health care that is prevailing in the region, especially in terms of surgeries and the medical services. For particularly Kigezi, we are going to have both surgery camps and medical camps. Surgery camps will be located in 2 places in each district. And also we shall have another medical camp also situated in 2 places in the district. These are called static camps. Then we'll also have other mobile medical camps that will move throughout the districts to provide the necessary medical services in the whole region. We are going to cover all the 6 districts in the Kigezi region. But in particular, we are going to concentrate on the conditions that are prevailing in the region in terms of care, and also will provide dental services, eye and optical care. We'll give out glasses, specs for all people who are no longer reading properly. We shall also have vector control activities, fighting all the vectors and vermin that cause diseases in the region, including mosquitoes, bats, or any other vector that bring or cause diseases. We also have health education and promotion in the region. Our film vans will move all through the region, conducting health education and promotion, advising the communities of what to do and what not to do in order to prevent conditions that are prevailing in the region. We also have some donations of mattresses in various health centers that are deficient, and also delivery beds for, especially for mothers. As we did our rec, we found out there are some areas, some health facilities that need support in terms of maternity, where mothers were even delivering from the ground, but we will support them. In so many towns, especially in these municipalities, the commissariat has highlighted there are youth that are engaged in drugs and other becoming behaviors. We'll have our counselors who will go in and counsel these youth and other people so that they can change their behaviors. I'm going to highlight for those who come from, all those who will go to Kigezi. In Chisoro, we'll have 2 centers for static surgical and medical camp at Chisoro General Hospital and Chahafi Health Center 4. That is Chisoro. In Rwanda, we'll have Hamurwa Health Center 4 and Muko General Hospital. In Ruchiga, in Kabare, we'll have Rubaya Health Center 4 and Kamchira Health Center 4. In Ruchiga district, we'll have Mparo Health Center 4 and Kamwezi Health Center 4. In Kanungu, we'll have Kanungu Health Center 4 and Chinchizi Health Center 4. And Rukunjiri shall be at Bugangari and Kemson Health Center 4. These will be our main camps for both static surgical and medical camps, but other camps will be in other 4 areas or health centers in the district. For dental, eye, optical, TB, HIV, AIDS, circumcisions, and non-communicable disease screening, we also have their programs that will be scattered throughout the 6 districts in the region. Briefly, that is our program, and we shall insert on 1st December and extract on 15th December, taking the 2 weeks in the region. Thank you, and you're welcome. If you happen to be in Kigezi, come for treatment also. Thank you.
My name is Albert Fukama Yevare, Major. I am the Brigade Operations and Training Officer of the Engineers Brigade. I'm here to represent the Joint Staff, Engineers, and I bring you warm greetings from the Engineering Brigade Headquarters in Lugazi. I bring you warm regards from the Joint Staff, Colonel Architect James Regaba. I bring you warm regards from the Commander, Colonel Engineer Chabo Namdongo, and the Deputy Commander, Major Engineer Ogwang. Afande, you allow me, I will like to mention that the engineering projects for this Tarehe Sita will be spread in 6 districts and the 3 municipalities of Kigezi. And these projects have been carefully selected under the guidance of the district leaders, under the guidance of the Defense Organizing Committee and the strategic leadership at Mbuya headquarters. But most importantly, we've been looking for the impact of the projects we are going to put in Kigezi, and zeroing on the areas of human capacity development. Thereby, we're focusing on education and health. We're looking for projects that will take a short time. As Afande mentioned before, our projects are beginning tomorrow, and we're supposed to be completed by the 6th of January next year. So we're looking for projects that will take a short time. Of course, cost is a constraint. We're looking for projects that we can afford, and we did our best to equitably divide or distribute these projects amongst all the districts and the municipalities of Kigezi. The project types we zeroed on, therefore, we did market stalls, recreation grounds, schools, health facilities, critical infrastructures like bridges and accommodation facilities. And all these projects are estimated to start tomorrow and end by the 6th of January next year. In summary, the whole of Kigezi, we are going to put up 9 classroom blocks, 5 housing units, 6 assorted sanitation facilities, 1 culvert bridge, another motorable timber bridge, and another footbridge. We shall also build a market stall. We shall upgrade a monument. We shall build an incinerator and a maternity ward. To achieve this, we have mobilized all the engineering forces across the UPDF services, the Air Forces, the Special Forces Command, and the Engineers Brigade, and the combat engineers. Thank you very much, sir.
It's a symbolic activity that we are going to do so as to bond with the people, being a people's army. But also for this specific Tarehe Sita, we decided to construct new items. Will not be like in the past we used to renovate some houses and some health center. This time the facilities that we are taking on ground are going to be new. At this juncture, maybe I would invite again the joint staff political commissar to come and maybe answer 1 or 3 questions before we call it a day. You're welcome, sir.
Let me start with your last comment stroke question. Is UPDF going beyond its mandate? You as members of the media, you need to familiarize with the Constitution especially. Uganda People's Defense Forces is provided for in the National Constitution, 1995 Constitution as amended, Article 208, 209. If you search your records on phone, 208 provides for a people's force and its character, but Article 209 provides for the functions of UPDF. And when you look at those functions, they are 4. Number 1, defending sovereignty and territorial integrity. Number 2, participating or cooperating with civilian authority in cases of emergencies and any disasters. Number 3, fostering harmony and understanding between ourselves and the population. And number 4, participating in productive activities for the development of the country. So when you look at those 4 areas of our mandate, it would be not fulfilling our mandate if we are not doing all those things you are accusing us of doing. So you are accusing us of doing the right things according to our mandate given to us by the national constitution. On the issue of the incident of a few weeks ago, it's correct, you are saying you have already been promised an investigation. So I would think Ugandans should wait for the outcome of that investigation so that you are fed on facts, not speculation. However, what should be comforting Ugandans is that that incident did not escalate. It could have been worse if we were not a force that has capability to continuously protect and defend our territorial integrity. What you should be assured is that this case did not go beyond being an incident. The rest, as you have clearly also reported, will come out when there is a full investigation. Tarehe Sita costs versus compensating veterans. As Colonel Obo told you, we don't have an extra budget. What happens characteristic of us as UPDF, we always sacrifice. These medical people have an ordinary budget for our medical services. But because we exercise transparency and frugality, what we don't use is what we share as our birthday gift to the population that has always. So there is no special budget for Tarehe Sita as such. The engineers are touching the budget they should ordinarily be using on us, but we say, what gift should we give our population? Let's share by making a contribution to some community impactful projects. Now, on the issue of veterans, and I want to use this media space to assure veterans that their situation has been improved greatly with the passing of the amended UPDF Act. All the problems that they were being faced due to legal constraints have been addressed by that amendment. As we talk, many of the veterans whose compensation had been unfair, those especially who were retired or reduced in the early 1990s, their plight has been addressed. And our lawyers whom I talked about, who are going to be in the field, are going to be explaining the enhanced compensation procedures and amounts to the veterans. I must tell you that veterans are really smiling all the way now in the villages because their plight has been properly addressed. And those who still have constraints during these activities of Tarehe Sita, we shall explain to them to know what to do, because sometimes they need to do certain things to put their records right so that they are compensated. So I want to assure you, Grace, we are not suffocating the budget of compensating our veterans and pensioners. Why are you? Daily Monitor, isn't it still a running paper? The theme actually rhymes more with our mandate. When you recollect what I have just told you, the mandate of UPDF is protecting and defending the sovereignty and the country. So we are really not talking something extraordinary. We are only honoring the sacrifices of those who made contribution through the successive phases of our liberation struggle. So if there is any coincidence that the national resistance movement, which has organic linkages with the People's Army, because as you know, the commander-in-chief is the leader of the national resistance movement. So his thinking, you can't say he brings one head for NRM and another head for commander-in-chief. So if the thinking, the doctrine seems to rhyme, I think it's a coincidence of history, and it shouldn't really give you ulcers. You should just, it's a fact. Now, the issue of personnel in the UPDF who face disciplinary measures is our routine. One of the things, the strength of UPDF is strict adherence to discipline. And actually, the current leadership and our current CDF is going back to the roots to ensure nothing tints the time-tested discipline of UPDF. However, what you may have been hearing in rumors is delay in dispensing justice because people who I think took us to court or something, there was a Supreme Court ruling which really has paralyzed our justice system as a force. You know, worldwide, armies have a different justice system. They call it martial law, and we are not exceptional. Now, Ugandans who are very interesting, they interfered with it and we are law-abiding. The chiefs, I mean these big people in the Supreme Court made a ruling, and we are waiting now, since the law was amended, our system is being restructured. And as soon as it is properly instituted, our justice system will run smoothly. So don't worry. For us, the most important thing and the bottom line is discipline, discipline, discipline.
Okay.
Tuesday is the national launch at Mbuya. I think you came in late. At Mbuya headquarters starting at 9 a.m. We expect the commander-in-chief may be there to launch the activities. Then in the region on 29th of November, our teams will go, especially in the region hosting the national events, Kigezi, 29th November, with the regional launch in Kisoro on 2nd December, and all other district launches on 3rd of December. And activities will go on at a peak of 2 weeks. Our engineers will remain in the field starting tomorrow up to the 6th of January. Then we shall, as you know now, a series of elections will commence, and we wouldn't want to be interfering with that period. We shall then go back after elections, because whichever way the elections go, this government will still be in power until May next year, 12th. So we still plan our calendar, and on 6th February we shall celebrate at Kabale National Teachers College the Tarehe Sita National Day. I hope that makes Mr. Mulangira at peace. Now, I am not privy to the press conference of the Prime Minister of Uganda, so I don't know whether you are telling me exactly what he said. If I had a record, I would comfortably comment. But we are really careful people for us. We don't engage in speculation. So if you heard him, your role in election period is to ensure that our people participate in the elections both before, during, and after in peace. That one we don't mince our words. Anybody who wants to experiment, it's up to that person. For us, we are steadfast in ensuring that we deliver a peaceful election where our people will exercise their right with no intimidation whatsoever. One more observation, Ndugu Baguma. One main, from what I could summarize as our milestone and a glorious achievement, is that as a people's force, since we became a national army after 1986, we've kept Uganda in one piece. And when I say this, some of you may think it's just what do you mean? But you know of countries which have broken up. But Uganda is in one piece. And we have, through our growth and development, improving our capability, being able now to ensure that there is peace from any corner of the country you would want to think about. The notorious area in Uganda, which was full of criminal activities like Karamoja, has been pacified. We have ensured that the people of Karamoja now are law-abiding and they are no longer causing instability in the neighborhood. However, you also know that we have made tremendous contribution to the security and stability of the region. In terms of professionalization and modernization, we have enormous achievements. And during the celebration along the way, Colonel Henry and his team will be showing you some of the documentaries, and I am sure Henry Baguma is aware. You will see how far UPDF has gone, and now not only a pride to the country, but a pride on the African scene, a pride also globally. I must tell you, every week we receive delegation of military students coming to benchmark how we have made it. So I can't really fail to drum up our own trumpet through our strategic mentorship and leadership of our command-in-chief. We've become a force that is a pride for the country. And these achievements will be documented, have been documented, and will be shared as we celebrate. Thank you, the members of the press, and Nze Major General Henry Masco, okuleta obubaka obwa Chief of Defense Forces nga yanjulira eggwanga emikolo n'okujaguza okw'emyaka 45 kuva eggye lyaffe ery'abantu litondebwawo. Omwaka guno emikolo eno ejja kubeera mu ggwanga lyonna, kyokka ey'eggwanga ejja kujagulizibwa mu kitundu ky'e Kigezi mu disitulikiti 6: Kabale, Rukunjiri, Kanungu, Kisoro, Rubanda ne Rukunjiri ne Rukiga. Ebintu bye tugenderera kubanga tugenze mu kitundu ekyo bikulu nnyo, kubanga Kigezi kitundu kimu mu byafaayo bya olutalo olw'okuleetawo eggye lyaffe. Ekitundu ekyo kyalina abazira abamu ne batuuka okuttibwa. Abazira bakyaliwo ng'omukulu Ruhakana Rugunda, omukulu Amamba Mbabazi n'abantu abalala batonotono, kyokka bamu baatibwa. Waliwo ekikangabwe kyaliwo mu 73, abasajja 3 ne bakubibwa amasasi mu Lwatu mu kisaawe e Kabale. Eyo twalina olunaku olwo baata omukulu Bitwali, omukulu Kalambuzi omuyizi omu yali ayitwa Kagoro Kanjire. Kyokka abangi abava mu kitundu ekyo abaatibwa mu lutabaalo luno olw'okwenunula, ng'omukulu Kalimuzo yali vice chancellor w'e Makerere, yabuzibwawo nakati ab'enju ye tebalabangako entaana ye. Waliwo Kabagambe yali ow'essaza mu Kisoro eyo, naye yabuzibwawo entaana ye terabwangako. So Kigezi ekitundu kimu ekirina abazira abalwana ate n'abaafiirira eggwanga lyabwe. Kigezi kyekitundu ekimu ekitali mbeera nnyo kubeera n'obutabanguko, kitundu kya mirembe ate bawagira nnyo gavumenti ne programu zebeeteesewo. Ate tubadde tumaze ebbanga nga tetujaguza n'abantu b'ekitundu ekyo. So omwaka guno amagye gagenda kujaguza amazaalibwa gaffe ge tuyita Tarehe Sita, ge tujaguza ennaku 6 Ogwokubiri buli mwaka. Ekirala bwe tuba tujaguza tulina bye tuwaayo bitonotono nga tutoola ku katono ke tulina mu budget. Akatono ako kagenda mu kujanjaba abantu baffe, kagenda mu kuzimba ebikwatagana n'amasomero n'amadwaliro n'ebintu ebitonotono ebiyamba omuntu owa bulijjo. Ekirala tubeerayo abasirikale baffe ne babeera n'abantu, tuzanya nabo emizannyo, tubayigiriza kubanga naffe waliwo bye tumanyi nga bantu baffe tebabimanyi. Ate constitution etukakatako okulaba nti tubeerawo n'enkolagana n'omuntu owa bulijjo, weewaawo tumuyigirize byaba tategeera ebigenda mu maaso. So n'olwekyo tukubiriza Abannayuganda kutwegatako kulaba nti tujaguliza wamu nga bulijjo, nga tujjukira emyaka 45 kuva eggye lyaffe ery'abantu lizaalibwa. So ffe mu kujaguza amazaalibwa gaffe tuwaayo kyekikulu ku Tarehe Sita. Mwebale nnyo okumpuliriza, katubendeze. Tujja kubeerawo okulaba nti n'akaseera kano ak'okulonda abantu balonda mu mirembe. Mwebale nnyo okumpuliriza. God bless you.
Facts.